College, a best of 5 between these two teams. As Eli for Mason, first shot of the game, Dark Swordsman picking up the save for Howard. Now it's JK for Mason. Logs and Trees looking to put the ball on frame for Howard. Dark Swordsman with the shot. The follow-up won't go. JK picking up the save. Now it's Tesnos, misplays the ball, but it's okay. Eli is there for the clearance for Mason. Tesnos shot turned aside by the Dark Swordsman. Tesnos back in the defensive end. Howard trying to put that pressure onto Mason. JK picks up full boost along the side. Now it's Eli back through midfield trying to get the ball on target. It's going to be Noob with the clearance deep into Mason's defensive end. Now it's Tesnos in the back. Can't get there. It is Logs and Trees scoring first for Howard Community College.
Big goal there from Logs and Trees, going up, finding the shot he needed, and eventually putting it away for that first goal of the match. Again, these are two very strong Titan teams in potential, looking at the top of the stands at least through 2 weeks, and Howard getting the job done early on here, just about a minute in. And the other one to look out for, Logs and Trees has scored a lot, but also the Dark Swordsman has come through and swung out quite a few spicy goals throughout week 1 and 2. We'll see if he brings some today as well.
3:30 remaining here in game 1. JK back through midfield. Mason looking to try to even this game up. Played towards the center. Dark Swordsman gets the clearance. Mason will play it back in. It's JK in the corner. Logs and Trees applying the pressure along with Noob. Will play it back into the defensive end for Mason. It's Eli with the save and the clearance into the corner. JK just a little too high, but the ball bounces out of danger for Mason. Halfway mark here in game 1 between Howard Community College and George Mason University's A team. Howard scoring the only goal so far. Mason playing most of game 1 back on their defensive end. Only a few opportunities on offense, this being another one of them. Nothing coming of that attack either. Now Howard looking to get back on their offensive ways. Gets cleared out for Mason, now back through midfield. It's Eli off the side wall, intercepted by Logs and Trees.
Yeah, a lot of back and forth so far in this one, John. Not too many shots coming out from either side, but Howard finding one that really matters there, finding that first goal. Just a couple minutes into this game, it looks like 1:40 left to go here in game 1. Howard still containing that 1-0 lead, but we do see some shots coming out. Howard looking to double it, unfortunately goes the other way.
And the shot from Tesnos will go for George Mason, and they have evened it up. 1:31 remaining, and it's all even here in game 1.
Watch that play right there as well. JK knocking it off the wall. Tesnos getting the car on the end of it, but the other GMUA players switching out, going to the side. They communicate as a team very effectively, and because of that, you see Elite ending up moving out a little bit toward the middle just in case it takes an awkward bounce or it gets deflected. That way, Elite can clean it up if Tesnos' shot doesn't go through. In the end, it does, and Tesnos says, hey, let's just double up and score another one as he puts a second goal on the board. Now up 2-1, 1:23 remaining, and just like that, John, Howard's 1-goal lead has evaporated.
Is a beautiful play from Tesnos, timing it perfectly, just nosing down on top of the ball to redirect it. Not a hard shot, but a beautiful redirection. And Tesnos will give Mason the lead just seconds later after tying the game up. Now it's JK off the backboard. Drops back down towards midfield. No teammate there. Now Mason still threatening once again. Shot just high of the crossbar. The follow-up And it's Eli for Mason, and Mason has scored 3 unanswered goals and now leads 3-1 with 1:06 remaining.
Big goal coming out there. Logs and Trees almost in a position to find the save. Unfortunately, just a little too far ahead of the ball as GMUA is able to squeak that one in. Now up 3-1, 1:06 remaining. John, this is crazy. This was a 1-0 game in favor of Howard just about a minute or so ago. GMU finding 3 in the last 30 to 45 seconds, and now definitely in the lead with 1 minute to go here and looking quite strong in that final minute.
Joey, it's raining in the DMV area. I feel like the dam may have overflowed. I feel like the floodgates have opened in favor of George Mason here with all these goals coming in, but Howard does not want to be left behind. It's the Dark Swordsman pulling one back, making it 3-2, cutting Mason's lead down to 1.
Absolutely, and we've talked about the talent on this Howard side, and if anyone is extremely talented in these clutch situations, it is the Dark Swordsman. We saw it time and time again in week 1 and week 2. He was able to get the job done. They made some substitution. They tried a few other players here and there, but when they needed that clutch moment, when they needed that big opportunity of a win, the Dark Swordsman came in and got it done, finding a clutch goal here. 30 seconds left to find another to tie things up.
30 seconds to go. Hood down by 1. After allowing 3 unanswered goals by Mason, Howard puts one back on the board and find themselves just 1 goal away from tying this up and forcing overtime. Ball played into the corner. Logs and Trees pinches it along the side wall, looking for that last chance opportunity. Howard looking to go on the attack. Ball still at midfield. Swordsman plays it in. Logs and Trees looks for the centering chance. The ball will be deflected up by a Mason defender. Still alive. Ball on frame. Nope, just to the side. Howard is not going down quietly. Mason looking to hit the ground. That barely hit the ground. Mason holds on to the game 1 win, 3-2. Joey, this was a game that started out a little slow. Then Mason just opened the floodgates, and then Howard quickly responded after going down by 2, pulled it back within 1. I mean, it was going back and forth. This is the kind of matchup that we were kind of expecting between these two teams, not really allowing any team to get too far ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 top scoring teams on the standings, 2 teams that we know can score and find save opportunities time and time again. They all play very effectively as a team as well, getting those pass opportunities in. So far through game 1, I'm feeling pretty good about my GMUA 3-1 prediction. Howard showing they can really bring it, and I also wouldn't be surprised if they do somehow force a game 5 here as well, because that game 1 was very tight. Mason able to find those string of goals, as you said, but Howard able to get that first one as well as find an answer. They were close to tying things up once again.
Game 2 underway. Did start with a bang as Mason came up on a opening face-off demo onto Howard. Didn't result in a goal, though. Mason now is trying to put that pressure back in on. Tesnos puts the ball back towards goal. Can't get the bounce they were looking for. JK back into the corner. Mason looking to be the aggressor here early on in game 2. Coming off that 1-goal game 1 win, plays it back off the backboard. Tesnos is there. The angled shot, and the Dark Swordsman coming up and challenging midair. Now Noob looking to go back post. Logs and Tree is there. Swordsman coming up late from behind. All 3 players pushed up. Mason has a chance here. Great rotation from Howard. 2 players get back just in time to stop the aggression from Mason. Ball now through midfield. Logs and Trees picks it up, looking to go on the attack. Still 0-0, looking for that opening goal. And the shot off the post from the Dark Swordsman. Just inches away from our first goal here in game 2 of this best of 5. JK in the air, plays it into the corner. Logs and Trees picks it off, looking for the Swordsman, can't find him. Not out of danger yet for Mason. Ball played back in by Noob. Tesnos looking for that clearance. Logs and Trees back into the corner. Howard just in full control of the possession so far. Plays into the corner, looking for that centering feed. Won't get it. JK challenges along the wall. Ball trickles back out towards midfield. Dark Swordsman is there along with JK. And a demo coming out onto Eli from Logs and Trees. And the shot from distance too high, and Eli was there regardless for Mason. Keeping this one at 0-0, just under 3 to go.
Yeah, really good shot opportunity. You did have two players there able to get the save off, and it ended up being a little bit high over that crossbar, but a good opportunity all the same. Still 0-0, as you said, 2:45 left to go here in game two. We did see GMUA take game one, and it was a close one so far. Game two showing a lot of the same. Both teams fighting pretty well. Both teams getting shots off, but both teams finding the saves too.
Halfway mark here of game two. 0-0 the score line. Mason holding on to the game one advantage, but it's going to be the Dark Swordsman striking first for Howard Community College at the 2:22 mark, and we finally have a goal on the board, and it's for Howard.
Yeah, it looked like Tesnos was trying to get a little bit more clearance off the side. Unfortunately, not able to. JK gets back there in time to potentially find a save, but the Dark Swordsman able to force it through and find that first goal. Howard now sitting at 1-0, 2:18 left to go here in game two.
JK off the backboard, looking for the backboard play, just couldn't get that bounce. Eli hovering along that side wall, looking to play the ball, can't get to it. JK picking up full boost, now backtracking on to defense. Mason down by one, just 2 minutes to go. Still plenty of time for Mason to find a response there from Howard's opening goal. Clearance for Howard did not go anywhere but backwards. Now it's Noob looking for a teammate for the clearance. JK putting the pressure on for Mason. Not out of danger yet. Ball into the corner. The centering feed. Logs and Trees is there for the clearance. Back into the corner. Great chance here for Howard. The redirect and in. It's Noob scoring for Howard Community College, and it is 2-0 Howard.
Noob may have been in a slump, but not anymore. Logs and Trees putting that one up high and then finding the second tab, ending up sending that right toward Noob, and Noob able to pop it in, giving Howard that 2-0 lead. Again, GMU with those quick goals in game one when they were down by one, now find themselves down by two, 1:20 left to find some goals here in game two.
AK now on the sidewall, gets taken out by Noob. Mason still putting the pressure on, and Tesnos. Demos don't matter for Mason. They pull one back. Plenty of time. 1:15 to go.
Yeah, that was a tough one there. It looks like Dark Swordsman ended up playing low. Tesnos ended up going high. In the end, the ball bounced the way it needed to for the side of GMUA as they find a goal opportunity there, cutting the lead of Howard by one. Howard still up, though, 2-1, 1:12 left. GMU needing to find another goal to at least tie things up here in game two.
JK back in the corner looking for that tying goal. It's Tesnos. A shot goes too high. Mason threatening, 60 seconds to go. Back towards midfield. The strong clearance for Howard. JK plays the ball all the way around looking for that clearance. And Noob will try to pick it back up midfield. Still anyone's ball. Now a chance for Mason. Noob into the corner looking for that centering shot. Has Tesnos, but Logs and Trees gets there first. Eli on the rotation, looks to play it back in. 30 seconds to go. Mason down by one. Hood holding on to the lead. Eli to the side wall. Beats one defender. JK is there, comes flying in. Still has a lot of boost left. Tesnos in the corner looking for the centering feed. Can't get it. Logs and Trees with the clearance. 10 seconds to go here in game number two. Hood looking for that dagger. 5 seconds to go. Mason, one last chance if they can keep the ball off the ground. Off the sidewall, will hit the ground, and Howard will take game number two. A close contested match, 2-1 over George Mason University's A squad.
Absolutely, John. And this is the kind of series we want to see, a back and forth between two powerhouse teams. In this one, we saw Howard put up 4 shots. GMU only able to get 1 shot through Tesnos. It did end up being a goal, so that was a huge play for him. But overall, not too many save opportunities, not too many shots coming out from either side. A lot of midfield play going back and forth here in this one. Howard finding the W, though, finding the win to tie up the series now 1-1 apiece. I'm not feeling as comfortable about that 3-1 now, John. Howard looking like they have come to play, and it looks like they could even force a game 5 here based on game 2. We'll have to see what GMU adjusts here going into game 3, but at least in game 2, Howard looked like they could take a lead and hold on to it there compared to what we saw in game 1.
Yeah, it was a very strong performance there from Howard Community College. A great response after dropping game 1. Now the series all even at 1 apiece. We are guaranteed at least 4 games in this series, but it's all even at 1 apiece. Now we'll get to see how Mason responds after dropping a close game 2 after that impressive Howard performance. Still not a high-scoring game, but Joey, like you said, it was 4 shots to 1 shot, and Howard just made the most of their opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both teams were clinical. We saw George Mason with 1 shot. They ended up with 1 goal. Howard, very similar as far as shots to goal total as well. So both teams playing clinically when they need to and really not forcing the other team into too many saves. They're taking those quick, calculated shots, or they're playing around a lot in the corners and midfield like we saw in Game 2, where you're not seeing too many shots altogether.
Noob looks for the opening goal. Shot goes wide and decides to take out a Mason player as punishment for not getting that ball to go in. Now it's JK for Mason. Defensive end back through midfield. On the side wall. Tesnos there. Great deflection to enter the Howard defensive end. Eli back on the defensive side of that rotation. Now Tesnos looking to hold that ball in. Just over a minute played here in game 3, 0-0. The shot on frame, back post and in for Eli, and it's Mason striking first. 3:38 to go in game number 3.
Big play there, coming off the wall, finding the goal opportunity. It looked like Noob was going to have an opportunity to get that one out of the goal. Unfortunately, just a little bit too slow to the trigger as GMU finds that first goal, now up 1-0, 3:38 left to go here in game 3.
On the face-off, JK will play it into the corner. Eli there, great rotation, looking for the back post again. The Dark Swordsman learned from that last goal, pushed it wide. JK can't clear the zone off the crossbar, and Noob will tap it in. Costly turnover, and Howard's on the board and evens it up at 1 apiece.
What is this play? JK coming out there, trying to clear it out. Noob taking the shot off there, getting the deflection. As you said, John, hits that crossbar, but hits it perfectly. Just barely bouncing down, barely crossing that line. In the end, barely is enough to get a goal, though, as we see the scoreboard tied up 1-1 as Howard equalizes. 3:15 left to go here in game 3.
And we don't need instant replay to figure out that one crossed the line. That is a good goal. It is 1 apiece in this back and forth match between Howard Community College and George Mason University's A team. A battle of the Titans, and it feels like it's living up to that name.
Yeah, absolutely. 2 teams to watch, regardless if it's week 1 or week 3 like we are here today. These 2 teams seem to bring it week after week, and we continue to see it as their powerhouse goal scorers. They're great at passing. They find creative opportunities. Yes, they might not put up the most shots, but they put up shots that matter, and in the end, that's what gets you wins.
Ball deep in Mason's defensive end. JK looking for that clearance. Finds Tesnos, gets the clearance into Howard's defensive end now. Mason looking to go on the attack to break the deadlock. Shot goes wide. The follow-up for JK. There's no kidding on that. It's 2-1 for Mason.
I was going to say that same line. Tesnos goes up, knocks it off the wall. JK finding the rebound, popping it right over the goalkeeper and finding that goal opportunity for GMU. That puts them up 2-1, 2:27 left to go here. Momentum starting to sway a little bit in the way of GMU.
Under that halfway mark here in game 3, Mason with the lead. Howard was able to sit on a 1-goal lead for a pretty long time there in game 2. We'll see if Mason will be able to do the same thing. Maybe Mason will go to add more goals on to secure that lead and the game 3 win. We'll see what decision Mason makes here. As JK clears the ball out through midfield, Dark Swordsman picking it up for Howard, plays it back towards midfield again. Ball bouncing back and forth, but Mason with a chance here, and the Swordsman will clear it out alongside with Noob. JK back in, looking for the centering feed. And Tesnos, just not enough power, but Eli is there, sends it right down Hollywood, and makes it 3-1 for Mason.
Yeah, Elite getting the job done there, finding a quick, easy goal, able to pick up that boost, not even needing it, as it's a very clear on-shot goal. No one in there to save it. GMU now finds themselves up 3-1, 1:45 left, and it's starting to feel a little bit closer to game 1, John. We saw Howard score that goal. We saw EMU answer quite a bit in quick succession. GMU already scoring 2 back-to-back in this one and just continuing to build on that momentum they have here late on in game 3.
2 with 1:30 to go. Howard not out of it yet. They're trying to put that pressure on here late, looking to get at least 1 goal back quick. JK will clear the ball out from logs and trees. Now Eli into the corner, looking for the center feed. JK is there, but the Dark Swordsman perfectly challenged the ball. Now looking to go their way. Logs and trees can't find the connection onto the ball. Howard still putting the pressure on. The clearance is going to be just wide for Mason. All three Mason players have pushed up. Howard has to backtrack. JK, the follow-up, won't go. Tesnos, the bounce shot off the crossbar. Mason trying to put the pressure on. Now Noob with the clearance, but JK backs that bumper up, but not out of danger yet, going all the way from midfield. And the Dark Swordsman pulls one back. 45 seconds to go. Howard down by 1.
Yeah, JK trying to clear that one out, gets it over the midway point, but unfortunately it finds the Dark Swordsman on the other side, smashes it back over that midway point, finds a goal. Now only down by 1, 45 seconds left for Howard to find another answer here.
Tesnos into the corner. 40 seconds. Mason looking to hold on. It's JK! Seconds later, restoring the 2-goal lead for Mason. It's 4-2, 38 seconds remaining.
Big stuff there. Tesnos down, pinching it into that corner. JK getting credit for the goal, but that was a team effort all around. GMU now up by 2, 38 seconds left to go here, John, and they're feeling a little bit more comfortable toward the end of Game 3.
30 seconds to go. Howard looking for 2 very quick goals. Logs and Trees looking for that redirect, can't get the angle. Tesnos gets the clearance. Swordsman will play it back in. Great communication and rotation coming out for George Mason. 10 seconds to go. Logs and Trees back through midfield. It's going to bounce the distance for Tesnos. That's going to be the dagger in Game 3, and George Mason University's A-team will hold on to a 5-2 win, depending what happens in the last 4 seconds. But Mason looking good to take Game 3.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big, big score there. GMU, again, coming on hot later on. It seems, John, once they get started, once they find that one goal, they just continue to turn it into a string of goals, doing the same thing here in Game 3. And again, a very close game, a game that went back and forth for most of the time here. It does look like GMU ends up much more dominant on the scoreline than the game really felt throughout.
Yeah, 5-2, the final scoreline. Mason now with 2 wins in the series in this best of 5. That puts them at match point. But Joey, Howard Community College, you know, they did not let up. Like, they fell behind several times. They kept pushing up. They kept the pressure on. Mason was never really out of danger until the very end of the game when they were able to go up by 3. Obviously, with not a lot of time left on the board, that's a pretty good score line to secure a win. Going into Game 4, Mason cannot sit back. We cannot see a repeat of what happened in Game 2 for Mason, or was the Game 1? I apologize. I'm blanking on the games there, but Howard is very, very capable of pulling this back and forcing a Game 5. Mason has to take every ounce of momentum they had in Game 3 and continue it here in Game 4.
Yeah, absolutely, John. And that's Game 2 you're referencing. That's the game that Howard was able to not only find that 1-goal lead early on, but find a 2-goal lead early on. And we never saw GMU answer it. Howard continued to hold that lead throughout the rest of that game. So now coming into Game 3, it looked like we're going to have something similar. Howard scored early on, but GMU able to find that goal and then able to continue to push on that lead. So far in Game 4, it looks like Mason has the momentum as they put up the first goal as well from Tesnos, the player that continues to score back-to-back goals for Mason, getting it done here. And I believe, to my knowledge, this is probably, I want to say Howard scored the first goal in every other game. So I think this is the first time we see GMU taking the lead early on here in Game 4.
And that's a beautiful bang-bang play. Tesnos to JK, giving him back to Tesnos for the goal. Those quick kind of passes there will throw almost any defense off. And Tesnos from JK once again makes it 2-0 for Mason. The teamwork is off the charts for George Mason. It's 2-0, 4:20 remaining.
Absolutely beautiful teamwork, but JK with the mechanical play there as well, John. JK getting the bounce off the wall and then just slightly tipping the ball. The beautiful pass, the touch of a legend, finding his teammate there, able to put the goal away, but JK, beautiful assist opportunity.
Tesnos looking for more for Mason. Ball will get cleared out. JK through midfield. Looking for Tesnos. JK back through midfield. Just misjudges the ball. Back post for Eli won't go. Sends it just a little wide. Tesnos the follow-up. Dark Swordsman with the save. So far early on here in Game 4, it is all Mason. putting the pressure on. Now Noob looking to respond. Comes up short. Ball back into Howard's defensive end. Mason the follow-up, and it's JK after providing the first 2 assists, gets a goal of his own. 3-0 for Mason.
John, these Patriots might be knights here in this game. Howard having a tough time as the Dragons finding their way out as GMU just continues to slay opportunities down time and time again. Now up 3:33 remaining in this one. Everything GMU here so far in game 4.
AK, the star performer, making the passes, making the shots. Dark Swordsman looking to try to find one for Howard. Coming up empty. Now it's Tesnos going the other way. Looks to play it off the backboard. And Noob with a solid rotation tries to play it out, but JK starting to threaten once again. Balls is kind of sitting there, gets pushed off to the side. Mason could have had 4. Tesnos intercepts the ball through midfield. Logs in trees with the clearance. Howard starting to feel the pressure. Being down by 3, approaching the halfway mark. The shot on frame, pushed aside by Tesnos. Perfectly positioned, read that ball the entire way, and keeps the 0 on the side of Howard. Now Noob looks to play it back in. Now through midfield, it's Dark Swordsman. Into the corner, Eli is there. Drop down right in front of the goal. Logs and Trees couldn't get there in time. Noob couldn't get the right contact on the ball. Now it's Tesnos, the clearance. Eli, the shot on target. Logs and Trees is there. Back and forth between both of these teams, but Mason able to put 3 in the back of Howard's net so far. Under 2 minutes to go. Howard looking for any signs of life on the offensive end of their gameplay. Time not on their side. Mason on match point. Another shot by JK turned aside by the Dark Swordsman. Eli from above sneaks it under the crossbar and in. And it's 4-0 for George Mason.
Yeah, Noob getting that one up. Unfortunately, not quite the clearance he was looking for as he puts it back toward his own goal. Elite dumping that one down, finding the goal. 4-0 GMU now dominantly in the lead. John, it's okay to have games go close. It's okay to have a nice back and forth, but unfortunately in Rocket League, there is no scaling up the later the game goes. Howard has got to find an opportunity to get the job done, and right now, finding themselves down by 4 is not the position you want to be in a game 4. You can't really force a game 5 unless you can pull off a win here. They got to find some goals, and they got to find them quickly.
Dark Swordsman looking to play the ball in, couldn't find the frame. Mason just seems to be all over the field, both on offense and defense. Tesnos waiting perfectly, will play it back out, but plays it perfectly to Noob. Gets the redirection on frame and Howard's first goal here in game 4. Cuts the lead to 3, 1:15 remaining.
Yeah, Tesno's trying to clear that one out. Unfortunately, not able to get enough clearance as Noob comes in right when he needs to, finds that goal opportunity, and they need to score goals. We said it just a second ago. Howard has got to find quick goals here in this game 4. They're down. They're in a tight spot. They find one there. They have about 1:10 left to find 3 more to tie things up.
Mason's not going to take the pressure off. They're going to look to put their 5th goal on the board. They're going to keep that aggressive play going. The shot dropping in, and Noob pushing it aside. Mason almost had goal 5. Under a minute to go. Tesnos playing it back in for Mason. The drop down from Eli, pushed aside by Noob. The pinch shot comes up short of the post. 35 seconds to go, still down by 3. Mason's not going to sit back and play defense. Mason's going to take the pressure. Danger here now for Mason. Almost gave up a second goal, but kissed the crossbar. We'll keep that out for Howard. Eli plays it back in. Noob trying to clear the defensive end. JK put more pressure on for Mason. On to Howard. Tesnos keeps the ball in. Now it's Noob looking to go the other way. It's Logs and Trees. Will pull back a second goal, but with 4 seconds left and pending something absolutely insane happening here on the face-off, Mason is in good position to close out the series.
Absolutely. Howard able to find 2 goals to cut that lead in half. Unfortunately, too little, too late. GMU still up by 2 goals and only 4 seconds left on the clock. Howard would need a miracle for a Game 4 win here.
It's a miracle that will not be answered here in Game 4 as Mason will take the Game 4 win and the 3.